Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into a source outlining, well, a really ambitious vision from one company. It spans a quarter century, aiming to transform education globally using AI, VR, and AR.
That's right. We're looking at excerpts from EON Reality detailing their strategy, market position, and these big plans they say they've been building for 25 years now. Quite a long time in tech.
Yeah, it really is. So our mission here is to unpack the key insights for you. What is this vision exactly? What's driving it? And, maybe most importantly, what could it mean for how you or anyone learns in the future? Let's dive in.
Absolutely. Where should we start?
Okay, let's begin with that foundation they talk so much about. The source really hammers home this 25-year history back to 1999. What does that actually mean for them now, especially in such a fast-moving tech space like AI and XR?
Well, according to the source, that long history is presented as, a major strength that gives them credibility, established relationships with institutions, things a startup just wouldn't have. They argue this foundation is meeting a crucial moment right now, a convergence.
A convergence of what?
It's a few things coming together. You've got AI advancing incredibly quickly. Then there's XR tech, VR, AR. It's becoming more mature, more accessible. And on top of that, there's this huge, growing global demand for better education solutions. They see their 25 years as preparation for exactly this point in time.
And they're not exactly starting from scratch user-wise, are they? The source mentions they already have over 136 million users?
Yeah, 136 million. That's a significant base, definitely. It's part of the ecosystem they've already built. And the document lays out their structure. They call it a tri-track system in their roadmap.
Tri-track. Okay, what does that entail?
So it connects three areas. First, their existing B2B work, enterprise solutions. Second is B2C expansion platforms for individual consumers. And third, fostering entrepreneurship, letting others build on their platform.
Ah, I see.
The idea presented is that these tracks all reinforce each other, making the whole ecosystem stronger than just focusing on one.
Right, makes sense. Okay, so they have the history, the structure, but the tech itself. How are AI and XR actually transforming things? The source mentions spatial AI mentors, which sounds interesting.
Yeah, the source explains AI is used for key things like personalization, speeding up content creation, customer success. Pretty standard applications, maybe? But these spatial AI mentors seem to be a core part of their vision.
What does spatial AI actually mean here? Is it just AI in a 3D space?
According to the source, it's a bit more than that. The AI isn't just crunching data. It's meant to understand the context within these 3D immersive spaces. These mentors supposedly help with product development, but also adapt and learn from user interactions from the data systems. Think intelligent guides inside the virtual world.
Okay, so interactive adaptive guides, that's clearer. And content seems key too. The source highlights this massive library they've built, 8,000 plus XR apps, over 36 million 3D assets, accessible via natural language search, like asking for a 3D model of a human heart. Building that must have taken ages.
Absolutely. And they present that 25-year effort as a huge competitive advantage. It takes immense time and money to build that kind of content base. They argue that having this library, plus things like 5G, better and cheaper, XR hardware, and the AI developments we mentioned, it all creates the perfect conditions for them now.
Right, the convergence again. Okay, let's talk market opportunity, because the numbers in the source are pretty eye-watering. Global XR education market potentially hitting $75 billion by 2034. AI in education nearing $32 billion by 2030. Wow. How do they say they're positioned to grab a piece of that pie?
The source connects it right back to what we've discussed. Their argument is existing content library, check. Long-term institutional relationships, check. Core tech foundation built over 25 years, check. They see that market growth as basically validating the long game they've been playing.
Okay, but projections are one thing. Does the source offer any proof this approach actually delivers results? They mentioned big partners, Boeing, Microsoft, Cornell, Samsung. Do they share any outcomes?
Yes, they do provide specific metrics. Things like reducing training time by up to 70% and improving retention rates, how much people remember, up to 75%. Numbers like that, if accurate and repeatable, are presented as strong evidence that their platform boosts performance and learning.
And that ties directly into that World Economic Forum stat the source brings up.
Right. The one about 60% of workers needing retraining by 2027.
Exactly. That kind of need creates a huge potential market for faster, more effective training solutions like they claim to offer.
It really frames their solution not just as nice to have, but potentially essential for tackling a major global skills challenge.
So in this increasingly crowded space of AI and immersive tech, What's their unique selling point, according to the source? They mentioned that 25-year foundation again and network effects.
Yeah, the argument is their history equals robust, proven tech. And the network effect ties into that tri-track system. More users, more businesses, more creators. It makes the whole platform more valuable for everyone, creating this positive feedback loop that's hard for newcomers to match.
Can you elaborate just a bit on their spatial AI tech advantage? What makes it different?
Well, the source describes it as going beyond just showing 3D stuff. It's supposed to understand the context, anticipate what a learner might need next, and create interactions that adapt to that specific learner. So aiming for something much more dynamic than, say, just clicking through slides in VR.
Got it. More personalized and responsive. And accessibility seems key, too. The
Yeah.
source says their platform is device agnostic, works on phones, tablets, VR headsets, big screens.
Exactly, and they identify that as crucial for mass adoption. You don't need super expensive, specialized gear, lowering the barrier to entry.
And they also seem to be embedding themselves deeper than just selling software, right? Mentioning government partnerships, national spatial AI centers in Monaco, Morocco, Kosovo. That sounds like more than just being a vendor.
It does suggest a deeper level of integration, potentially weaving their tech into national education or training systems. That signals, a higher level of trust and strategic alignment, which they'd see as strengthening their position.
Okay, so foundation, tech, market, edge partnerships. How do they actually plan to execute this huge global vision? What's the strategy described?
The source emphasizes focus. Focus on tech and talent. And interestingly, using AI internally, those brainy AI mentors, again, to handle a lot of operational stuff, things like supporting development, parts of marketing, sales, customer success. The argument is this AI leverage helps them scale efficiently. Their mantra seems to be build, ship, iterate, fast, and avoid getting sidetracked.
Makes sense for scaling globally.
Yeah.
So big picture outcomes. What does the source say this all leads to? Global accessibility, helping underserved populations, creating entrepreneurship.
Those are definitely the stated goals. They even give targets, like aiming for 1 million active users and 500,000 creators on their consumer platform in the first year. And they mention a revenue sharing model for creators, making them partners. It all ties back to that tri-track strategy, strengthening itself through network effects.
And it all circles back to that core mission statement they cite.
Knowledge is a human right and should be available, accessible, and affordable for every human on the planet. Quite a statement.
It is.
Yeah, the source basically concludes by saying, look, we've spent 25 years building all the pieces, the foundation, tech, relationships, assets, team, and now we're ready to deliver on this mission. They contrast themselves with others who might still be exploring or fundraising, saying they're already shipping and aiming to make older methods look obsolete. And they mentioned Spatial AI University launched in 2025 as the first platform really using this core tech.
Okay, so we've unpacked this long-term vision from EON Reality, the tech, the market they see, the results they claim, their driving mission. Why should you, listening right now, care about this deep dive? What's the takeaway?
Well, if you connect the dots, this vision is trying to tackle some really big global issues head-on. That skills gap we talked about, the need for truly accessible and affordable education worldwide, even just dealing with information overload. Their approach, as they describe it, suggests learning could become much more active, more immersive, not just reading or watching, but doing in ways that might genuinely boost retention and performance. This could really change how people learn new skills, how they stay relevant in their careers, and maybe even open up new ways for creators to get involved in education.
It's definitely a fascinating look at a long-term strategy blending decades of experience with very cutting-edge tech to go after huge educational challenges. The scale is immense.
It really is. And it leaves you thinking, if this kind of AI-driven immersive learning does become widely available and affordable as they envision, what does that mean for traditional universities, for vocational training? How does lifelong learning change? And what new doors does it open for learners and for creators all around the world? That's something to ponder.